I feel like I've reviewed every type of token on this channel already. That is until today, because this one literally blew my mind, and I do not. Toilet to earn is their pitch. They are turning toilets into fertilizer, money, carbon credits. Sounds ridiculous. It is. This is going to be a fun one. So let's dive in. This thing just released. So we're going to talk. Can't believe I'm doing this. We're going to talk about Etarn. That's right. Transform your waste into tokens. So I absolutely, this was ridiculous to research, but they do have an idea here, and it's kind of interesting actually. Once you get past sort of the toilet humor around it, let's talk about their narrative and vision. So here's the core of what Etarn is trying to do. They are deploying smart public toilets. That's right, smart public toilets. Each toilet does three things, and I think there's a picture sort of their whatever they're trying to do here, this AI slop here. The three things are processing the waste into liquid organic fertilizer for local agriculture. They run a monitor that displays QR codes that you can scan after you take your dump and get Etarn rewards. The ticker is ETAN, so slight difference there, whatever. And then they track metrics to potentially issue carbon credits for methane abatement. So their revenue lines are pretty much summed up like this. There's fertilizer sales, there's ads on the screens, there's licensing, and then there's carbon credits. Their target market, as you could probably tell by the website, is India first. They have huge sanitation gaps, massive fertilizer demands. They're one of the, if not the most populous country on earth. And their white paper, which I'll pull up here, it's 80 freaking pages long. And it's legit. I did a quick sort of run through of the first two sections, and you can see some of the stuff that they've allegedly already shipped for the China or like the Beijing Olympic Games. You can see, this is absolutely insane, but they have a good white paper. I was kind of shocked, like reading all this. I was trying to figure out, is this a sarcastic sort of weird meme token, or is this real? And I'll tell you what, it's real. So their white paper calls out basically moving towards VCS and gold standard certification, which is essential if they want the carbon sort of credits to be real. Without accredited credits and buyers, that line is sort of fantasy. And let's be real here, the DePIN here isn't free. You need sites, you need utilities, you need maintenance, security, refill logic, municipality sign-offs, ads in a toilet stall. Maybe CPMs are low, but maybe engagement's high because everyone's captivated while they're, doing their business. You can see some of their toilets here, the smart toilets. I'm so torn on this. I'm not going to call this a sort of moonshot. This is an operations company with a token, which, by the way, is fine if you sort of prefer the grind over the glitz. And I honestly had to give them a strong score. I couldn't ding this too hard. They have an actual legit white paper. It states sort of the reasoning. It states the product, the market fit, and kind of what they're doing on a deep level, right? They have these, ridiculous images. So whatever, let's give it a score. For narrative and vision, I gave it a 15 out of 20. Is it odd? Sure. Is it ambitious? Definitely. And it's definitely execution heavy, but the vision is there. So, man, this channel is going off the rails. Let's go on to their tokenomics and supply. And this will be pretty short. Again, they just released. So they have a market cap of under 1 million. The volume is high just because they, just launched the other day. This is on Binance. So it's a BSC token. It's a ERC20 mint, which is initial mint to the deployer. They have about 1% in circulation. FD is about 70 million. There's a thin float, right? This just launched. So that's great for spikes, but it's hell on dumps. And the utility is the rewards and future settlement for the carbon, fertilizer, the ad stuff, which they're hinting buybacks if those do arrive. There's no public unlock schedule, though, which I thought was very, very strange. And so you don't really know what the dates and the cliff looks like. And until they publish that, assume that there's a ton of risk here. So for that reason, I gave it an 11 out of 20 for the tokenomics and supply. and we can move on to the tech and execution. So again, the on-chain here is super boring and safe. It's an ERC20. It's verified. You can see their code here on the contract. So all of that looks legit. The real tech here is off-chain, right? The hardware, the processing, the sensors, the ad stack, and all the payments routing and MRV for carbon credits. I mean, there's a ton of stuff here that has absolutely zero to do with the token. They cite the China side deployments and plan for India certification, and that's promising, but none of that has actually, I think, happened yet. You're going to need third-party audits, site photos, unit counts, revenue receipts, all that kind of stuff. So the execution is TBD, but either way, I gave them a 12 out of 20 for tech and execution. We can move on to the market structure and liquidity. And there's really not a lot in terms of listings yet. This just came out on Bitmart and MEXC, so very thin. They had a $65,000 promo, and which means basically that there's going to be inflow because of farmers. So the book is fragile, the order book. I mean, you can basically print face melting rallies or dumps both ways. If they announce unit installs, fertilizer POs, or any credit issuance milestones, that can convert transient flow into sort of stronger hands. But until that happens, it's kind of a toss up. So for market structure and liquidity, I couldn't ding them too hard. They need to get on more listings, more exchanges, but 10 out of 20. And we can move on to the exit risk and VC stakes. And this was the one big sort of red flag for me, was that there's no public pie chart or detailed vesting that I could find, and on-chain holders are scarce. So that's a lot of counterparty risk. And, I looked through their X and I couldn't really find anything about the unlocks either. This is just a lot of charting and kind of marketing slop. They have a ton of followers though. So I guess the toilet space, 51,000 followers for a toilet token is impressive. Regardless, for exit risk and VC stakes, I gave them an 8 out of 20, which brings me to a final score for this toilet madness, this toilet token. I can't believe this is what it's come to. This is what this channel has become. But again, not to ding on them too hard, this is, regardless of what you think about it, it is an interesting play. Everyone has to use the bathroom, right? At a human base nominal level, we all go to the toilet. Whether you want to think about it or not, it's happening for everybody on the planet. There's a lot of people out there. So toilets are needed. Sanitation is needed. It's just not the sexiest thing, I guess, but an interesting token nonetheless. This was super weird, but fun to review. The total score here, the final verdict, is a 56 out of 100 for Etarn. Again, if they ship actual units, get some big partnerships, and get to the carbon credits, this could re-rate to a high risk, high reward token. But today, play it like a campaign coin with a compelling story and sort of very sharp edges. One wrong unlock, and you're going to be the exit liquidity. So regardless, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was fun. So thank you for sticking it out with me. If you made it this far, if you like the video, you know what to do. I'm not even going to ask you for it. And as always, I'll see you around for the next one. Take care.